Okay, so good morning everybody. I'm at the Sidney Airport today, recording for you from my phone. I have been left to my own devices today as the builders are coming in once again to do some rewiring and some final cabinet installation. So I figured that I would stay out of their way, mainly because they make a heck of a lot of noise, by coming on a bike ride up to Sydney. Normally I would be up here running with Derek or John, but neither of them are available. Derek hasn't gotten over his trip from last week when he twisted his ankle, and John is working, so I figured I should get myself out of Dodge and go and make a movie. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm recording my show and I'm going to be making a movie. To make it safer, I'm going to be riding my e-bike with my phone inside my shirt as usual, but I won't be holding any hand-operated devices because I'm going to be riding my bike. This will obviously be edited. So I have to remember the rules of the road. Even though I'm on a cycle path, there is a dotted line down the middle, so I have to be on the right-hand side of that line. On my left is the runway of the airport. I've never been on this trail, so this is a first for me here. So I probably will keep talking because I've never seen all of this stuff. I have my good camera, so I can take some neat photographs. Hopefully I'll be able to see some planes close up. It always has pleasant memories for me. Victoria Airport. Yep, I'm definitely going to stop here. I see Catalina, one of those planes. I'm just about to disturb a rabbit now as well. Let me get your camera out. Alright, but I was going to take a picture of this aeroplane. I'm still on video now, so that's okay. But as I approach the fence, miraculously, it'll disappear. There you go. Now I can zoom in. Yeah, that's a Catalina float plane. They used a lot of those, so it's probably one of the most well-used aircraft around nowadays. This one's obviously still serviceable. And I'll take a still shot. Got it. And that bunny is still there. He's not going anywhere fast. So I should still have my tracker going. Samantha's probably keeping track of my progress as we speak. But I'm feeling good about this outing today. It's going to be good to clear my head of building noise and substitute it with traffic noise. Let me swing my camera around behind my back, because what tends to happen is that the phone hanging in the pouch hits the top of my fanny pack and you can get a thump going, which is not a good idea. You don't want to get your thump going. Well, originally I was going to run around this, but I'm glad I didn't, because this way I'm riding around this long, kind of noisy loop, and it's going to take me less time to do this than if I run it. I'm coming across interesting things to look at quite often nowadays on this loop of the airport. I've got a bit of a squeak going on my saddle. I'm afraid you probably hear that. There are a couple of advantages of using the phone. Firstly, safety. I'm not holding it in my hand. And secondly, it's protected from the wind because it's inside clothing. Oh yeah. I recognize these areas vaguely because I go by them a lot, but I've never actually explored them in detail. I could smell sausages. Wow, that's really strong. There must be some sort of food outlet here. This is the boring section of Mills Road. This is about 1.5 kilometers, and I'm at the scenic side. I'm riding across the Saanich Peninsula from Sidney Airport, which is basically on the water on one side of the peninsula. I'm riding across now Mills Road, which takes me to the West Saanich side of the peninsula. And I'll be back on the water again, but that side will be the Saanich Inlet. But I'm still on this loop. I'm still on the official cycle path, traveling at 21 kilometers an hour. And I have traveled safely for 26 kilometers now. Just over an hour from my home. Yep, I'm looking to my left all the time, because that is where the airport runways open up. I'm going to be listening out for anybody taking off or landing. I saw this guy before. He's got a kid in the caravan in the back of his bicycle. Yeah, the English call them caravan. Anything that hangs on the back of a car is a caravan, or a wagon, I guess. Here you call them trailers. Yeah, it's quite scenic actually. Once you get away from the noise of the houses and the cars, I could see why a lot of the locals would use this 9-kilometer loop for training. I hear a plane. Yeah, I'm going to pull off in a second. I'm either going to catch something landing or taking off. That's for sure.
Average heart rate 95.
Maybe I'll go a bit further up. Yep, there's a bit of a rise here. And an oak tree. North Saanich Municipal Hall. Once again, I'm going to have to get my lens right through the fence so that I don't have the wire in the way.
Auto pause.
I'll give it a couple of minutes. Yep, I see a plane at the end of the runway. Pretty sure he must be doing something. I don't think he's parked there. Let's see if he is moving at all. I don't know. I don't think he is moving. It is quite a sleepy airport, I must admit. There's not a lot of activity going on, especially with the COVID and everything else. But as I was saying to the farmer, I went to pick up some food from the pigs today, and I was saying to the farmer that even though there's no tourist flights going on, there are quite a few people still traveling business class, so to speak. They're still allowed to travel. As long as you're vaccinated, I think you should be allowed to travel. Alright, spent enough time here. Let me get a move on. I will make an edit here, unless something good happens. I've just seen the 1 kilometer mark from when I started this recording. I'm going to pick up a bit of speed now.
Average heart rate 89.
29 kilometers an hour. Hopefully I'll get a shot of the planes from the other side of the airport, because this trail goes all the way around. Actually, the audio quality should be pretty good, because, as I say, I'm on a quiet vehicle for one. I'm not thumping, puffing and panting. I'm going to stop and take another photograph or two here, because there is some kind of memorial and water stop.
Average heart rate 96.
Oh, nice. Yep, and a commemorative plaque. Let me see what's going on here. Lost Airmen of the Empire. On August the 9th, 1941, the first contingent of Royal Air Force Number 32 Operational Training Unit, OTU, squadron arrived from England to undertake operational activities and take part in advanced training under the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. Yeah, I'm not a very good reader, so what I'll do is I'll take a photograph of the text and I'll, yep, I hear a plane and I'm ready with my camera.
Workout resumed.
This is a memorial to the fallen. That's what it is, a Royal Canadian Air Force War Memorial. That plane is definitely not going to land. That plane has floats on it. So that's not going anywhere near this airport. It's taken off from the water and it's going to land on the water.
Time 1 hour 20 minutes. Average heart rate 86. Auto pause.
The quietness of the day. Let me just zoom back here. There he goes. And video mode. Didn't quite zoom in on time, but he's taking off above the mountain line. I don't know. Whenever I zoom, I lose track of what I'm taking a photograph of. But yep, this is a neat memorial. Very neat. Just to prove me wrong, that float plane is coming in. It does have wheels. Now I got him. Yeah, he's gonna land, even though he has floats. Interesting to see, but maybe not to hear. Just when I was saying he's nowhere near going to land this airplane on the runway with floats, and he does it. Just to prove me wrong. Alright, I've lost the frame again here. So I'll put the camera away and pick up the pace.
Workout resumed.
Even though I'm recording continuously, I will take out chunks because this might be quite a long outing if I keep stopping. But as I'm trying to keep away from the builders, that's not a bad thing to do. There was a sign there on this steep hill that says cyclists must dismount, but I'm not going to because there are no pedestrians. Yep, this is quite a hill. Yep. I'm now at the west end of the runway. Yep, this is the Coast Guard. I asked one of my friends with some local knowledge where I should park, and she suggested that that came down by the Coast Guard here. I got another stop, another scenic view. Yep, there's a picture of the Catalina. Patrol bomber PBY. That's what it's called. That's the one that I took a picture of earlier. And this is the Patricia Bay Coast Guard station. And there's also a little float plane airport there. Alright, push on. Get away from the weed whacker. I'm safe on the cycle path because it is separated from the cars by quite a nice big ditch. I did turn Samantha's volume right down low. Let me get going again.
Workout resumed.
Even if I have an hour of audio, I can deal with that quite quickly. An hour of raw audio I can deal with in about an hour, basically. I cut it into chunks and then I whittle it back from the cuts and try and keep some context going. But, you know, chronologically, that's basically the most important thing, is that I've got it in order. So when I make a cut, I'm not switching the order of the clips. So this side is closer to the airplane terminal, the airport terminal, I should say, but there is a sizable entrance, let's say, from the perimeter to where the airport buildings are located. It's about 500 meters from the road to the airport. There's a woman coming towards me on the phone on her skates, but she is wearing safety equipment, which is good. A lot of people don't wear the right clothing for the sport they're doing. Now it looks as if the airport loop trail is sending me across, but I'll follow it. It's obviously meant to be done this way, so I will do it this way. Military history sign. Now I'm on the other side of the road. Cycle path on this side. No cycle path on the other side. Lots of beautiful wildflowers. This would have been quite a boring run, actually. Mainly because the scenery doesn't change fast enough, and you'd have to improvise as to what to say after a few minutes. Kind of like what I'm doing now. Hello. I've just seen a thalidomide person. It's funny how when we were younger, we used to call them thalidomide children, but they're not much younger than we are. So they're not children anymore. They would be in their 40s, I would guess. Yeah. If I hadn't stopped so much earlier, I would have stopped just then, but I gotta push on here. Get through this section. Oh, I didn't tell you about the pigs, other than just very briefly. I picked up some wonderful stuff today. Some perfectly ripe tomatoes, the size of tennis balls, great for making pizza. Make some sauce, make the pizza. Plus, he gave me a mango, He gave me some carrots. He gave me 2 perfect lettuces. The curly lettuce. I did make a loaf of bread the other day, so I can enjoy a deli-style sandwich. Plus, I cooked the chicken that I bought on Monday. And I was saying to Zarin, our son, who lives in the basement, that if it hadn't have been for his suite, we wouldn't have been able to survive this kitchen renovation, because work has stopped after 2 weeks and we haven't had a stove, a sink, or anything like that upstairs. The sockets have all been reworked because the electrician is coming in to install the dishwasher and the range and reinstall our old oven. Morning. I gave them lots of warning. Yep, I'm going to take another photograph. It's too nice to miss.
Auto pause.
Yep.
Workout resumed.
Another audio edit there. When I take photographs, I stop talking, which kind of
Auto paused.
is quite easy to edit. You can see from the waveform there's suddenly a lack of activity. Yeah. Alright, I just can't stop stopping. I'm going to have to go past those pedestrians just another time.
Workout resumed.
Yeah. I'll just remind them that I'm behind them again when I get a little closer. Yep. So I'm just coming up to 30 kilometers this morning, and I'm pretty much finished my loop as well, so I'm going to be heading back. I'll stay on the cycle path for another 2.3 kilometers, just to say that I've done the whole loop. Yeah, I'm assuming this is the cycle path. Yep. There's an old guy with a bit of a wiggle on today. He's obviously doing this for health reasons. He's older than me and much bigger. Good job. Yeah. Definitely on a purpose today. His purpose is fitness. Mine too. No, I didn't realize that the loop continued all the way down here. That's interesting. But then again, I do know that I have another 3 kilometers to do. The only way to do this loop is on a bike, really. It's kind of too much asphalt. I don't normally run more than about 8K on hard surfaces, and this one would be, 9.3, I think they say. And I have been following the loop religiously. I'm just hoping that with all the bells and whistles that I've got going on my phone, the tracker, the voice recorder that my battery lasts to the end. Fortunately, I've been taking photographs with my point and shoot, so I haven't been firing up my screen every 10 seconds to take a photograph. That's what drains the battery almost more than taking the photograph. Switching on the phone uses the charge. Hello. Thank you. Those guys didn't have to step off the laneway. They were quite within their rights. I was going to go by them on the outside, but you know, they're erring on the side of safety, which is what we're doing all the time nowadays. A mother with 2 children in a little caravan, a little wagon. One of those purpose-built jobs, not just a wagon. New house going in. I can hear the framers as we speak with their nail guns. Alright, now I'm turning for the original spot where I started this loop. When I get to the starting point, I will stop the audio recording, knowing full well that I will have more than enough material for a half-decent show, which is my plan. There will be a promotional video based on the Relive movie, The Flyby, very appropriate today. The Flyby. This really does follow the fence line all the way around. A walker coming towards me. Hello. And this, I believe, is the home section, the home straight to where I started from, which would have been Beacon Avenue. Okay, so now I see that float plane with wheels taking off again, so he's obviously done his little test flight. Maybe he's being tested as we speak for his pilot's license, who knows. Now there's a couple of marquees over to my right. I'm pretty sure it's either a COVID vaccination center or a farmer's market. Could be either at this stage. Looks like it might be a farmer's market. Oh no. It's outdoor tables for a restaurant that's had to adapt. They've had to spread their tables outside, but now is the ideal time when the weather is so glorious for them to do that. I'm going to stop here one more time because there are 2 aircrafts close enough for me to almost touch. I can get a good shot of this Cessna without having to zoom. I just have to get it through the fence, that's all.
Auto pause.
Through the fence posts. Actually, in this case, the fence is quite relevant because it shows that I am close enough. Gives you a sense of depth.
Workout resumed.
Yep. I must be somewhat suspicious with my camera lurking around the airport, but Not really. There are lots of people like me who are fascinated by flight.
Auto pause. Workout resumed.
Yep, there goes another plane taking off. Probably can't hear it because of the distance. My voice is about 2 inches from the microphone, and that plane is about almost a kilometer away. The Sony would have picked it up much louder. That's for sure. So Victoria Flying Club is here. I'm following the path. Yep. Oh, there's just one more leg to do. It's down to the highway and then left to Beacon Avenue, which is where I'm going to cross and get back onto the Lochside Trail. So basically I'm within 200 meters of stopping, maybe a little more. Up at 32.6 kilometers of the trip, 9 of which has been this loop. So it's definitely going to be a 60-kilometer day. And at the moment I'm just showing that I have used 2 bars of 10 on my battery. So that's good. Hopefully Samantha is keeping you entertained a little bit. I could pretty much guarantee that I'll be putting music with this recording, mainly because if I don't edit too much, I can fill in some of the dead spots with some music. Yeah, I can see where I'm finishing now. The problem here now is that there's a honking great highway between me and where I want to be. So there are very few places where you can actually get off this loop and cross the highway. But I am coming up to where I started. I can see the traffic lights where I crossed, so this is basically the end of my recording. Yeah, I'm at the other end of the runway now, at the east end of the runway. Well, another woman chatting on her phone as she walks her dog, a golden retriever.
Time 1 hour 40 minutes. Average heart rate 94. Time for hydration.
Yeah, it's been a very pleasant loop. And as I say, not too much of a file to edit, which is great. As I get back to where I started, I'm going to pull off the cycle path and switch off all the unnecessary apps that are running at the moment, because I'm not going to need them very soon.
Time 1 hour 41 minutes. Average heart rate 94. Auto pause.
As I take a picture of one more plane, at least I think I took a picture of one more plane, I will say goodbye to my audio audience as I reach for my phone. And stop the recording, that's right.